Hello, my fearless seekers. My name is Amanda. Welcome in. This message is going to be for someone whose anger or whose irritations, frustrations, irritabilities are holding them back or getting in their way. This has been something that maybe you have experienced throughout your life, or maybe something that is a little more acute, where it has been focused on or around a specific situation. There's an explosiveness to this energy, so there could be a lot of reactivity as it relates to a person, a situation, a circumstance, some kind of stressor or trigger. I feel it's here at this time where it's coming to the surface because you are ready to transmute it and transform it. This could also be somebody that you're dealing with as well. And this rage, this anger has become a detriment to the connection. So whether it's you or someone else, please place this message as you see fit. And for those who shared some comments with me in the community about the music and the volume, please let me know if this is a better listening experience for you. So let's dive a little deeper into this reading and into the messages that are coming through. I want to be able to help you transform this energy and offer you the perspective shift that you need to take aligned action and help you see the changes that you want to make in your life. There is something that you are seeking or being encouraged to seek in this space that will allow you to step into a deeper sense of love for yourself, for life, for the people in your life. And there will no longer be this block to receiving that love, maybe even a defensiveness to receiving that love. You could be looking at astrology at this time, or looking to your higher self to really understand how to work through this, what you need to do next. And this is going to be a journey. This is a journey that you are being encouraged to start at this time. You're seeking answers. You would like a different story. You would like to experience life in a different way. You want to change. So it's time to take action in order to do that, to start this journey, this roller coaster. I believe it's going to be, I wouldn't say more difficult than this experience of rage, but it's going to challenge you in ways that will be difficult at times. But you will notice in this card that it goes over a lot of different terrain. It even has potholes that you sink into but then come out of. It'll take you through different landscapes, internal landscapes. But it does get smoother at the end here. So it's about taking the steps forward and not worrying about the obstacles or the things that you are going to come up against, because this is the process of releasing that rage or understanding that rage, changing that rage to something else, transmuting it so that it's not being a block in your life. It is no longer an obstacle. Not to say that it could never show up again and that you will be perfectly healed and perfectly relaxed forever once it's been worked through. There will be ebbs and flows, but over a period of time, you'll notice where you started and you can see where you've ended up. And that 2020 vision, that comparison, you are going to see how much you have changed over the years because of this active awareness and active participation in seeking answers for your questions, in seeking helpful guidance, in seeking a deeper knowledge about who you are understanding why those triggers exist, why that response exists. So it's not just about moving forward. I almost feel that there is a diving down into. So this could be shadow work. It could be healing from trauma. The key here is to always stay curious along this path, never judging yourself for coming up against challenges or having setbacks, because it is part of the process of catching yourself, of bringing awareness to, and changing the story as you walk it. So what I would like to understand a little better for you is to get some messages around this healing journey, on how to begin, on understanding where to focus. Let's see what this rage is. 5 of Swords in reverse. I feel like you were possibly suppressed a lot in your past. It could have been a thought, opinion, an idea, a feeling, and that was internalized. This could be circumstantial, or this could be a learned behavior from childhood, and you had nowhere to share that, especially the more difficult emotions like fear or stress or grief. There's something about in conflict, especially with others, or tension, it's almost as if your feelings or your thoughts, how you emoted even, was swept under the rug. And that created a little bit of a challenge for you to healthily express your anger. Your anger escalated to rage because there was no healthy outlet for that. So look at your life of your past, especially your childhood, to see which situations you felt like you were not heard or did not feel safe to express how you felt, whether that was a good emotion or a not so great one. And not to say that those not so great ones are bad, it's all on how you express, it's all on how you move through that energy, if you hang on to it, if you suppress it, if you internalize it, or if you use it to hurt others. So let's look at this journey a little bit moving forward on where to start this journey, what to focus on. The 6 of Swords. So there is progress here. We go from the 5 of Swords in reverse to the 6 of Swords in reverse. But to me, this feels like a bit of a setback before proceeding forward. And I think that's going to be part of this journey. And with the 5, another 5. So there is going to be a lot of change in this, where there is going to be maybe some internal discomfort. But this could also be an external as well, with people in your life as you mend fences or as you release certain people that don't have your best interest at heart or are unhealthy for you to be around. So there could be a lot of tension there with personal relationships. There could also be this struggle as well. 5 of Wands can be about struggle and working with limitations, prioritizing and organizing things in your life, and having there's a lot of opinions, a lot of advice that may need to be confronted. And you may not be able to explain things to people that make sense to them. So I do get that there could be some communication blocks because what you're going through may not be resonant to a lot of people in your life. So you may have to do certain aspects of this alone, or at least with the support of a professional or a community group. But the 6 of Swords is asking you to have a perspective shift in order to move forward. If not, then you may continue the cycle of moving through this emotion of rage or frustration or reactivity into seeking answers and starting the journey, but not being able to move forward. Because you have to see this cycle as something that is pushing you towards thinking differently about who you are and how you move forward, how you think about the setbacks, how you think about progress. And there's a part of you that needs to stay open-minded and curious rather than critical and judgmental. So the inner critic may be something that you can work on a little bit as well. How do you criticize yourself, especially during these cycles of raging and seeking and then starting the journey and maybe having some blocks or frustrations? How do you perceive yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you criticize yourself? That could be inherited or have been personalized from your past. So there's a bit of understanding that is happening in this space for you right now as you're coming here into this reading and wanting different. You want change. And I think it's just about seeing things differently for yourself, seeing this as a process, an alchemy, a back and forth, a tempering of metal. So I'm getting the Temperance card here in my mind's eye, and Temperance is all about the process of forming and shaping metal to be stronger than its original form. And in order to do that, one must go through the process of heating, cooling, and shaping that metal over a period of time until such time that there is balance, that there is rooted strength. And I think that's what you're working through right now. So it's not about being hard on yourself. It's not about quitting. It's about continuing to show up for this, continuing to see these moments of frustration, irritation, anger, and rage as opportunities to explore and to do something different, to implement new modalities, and to think of this in a new way. So this is your message, my dear collective, a very difficult one today, but I think there's a lot of empowering energy. I hope you can feel it, but would love to know what you're taking away from this reading today. Notice what's resonating in the cards and drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're ready to go deeper, you can join my monthly newsletter for intuitive guidance, and you will also unlock access to my Patreon community where I share grounded magic and deeper support that I don't offer anywhere else. That's all for now. We'll see you next week.